Yes. Be with me in the present moment. Shall we read? Okay. Day 76, Integration Day. The sacred covenant of authentic living. I have not committed adultery. Today you integrate the profound recognition that adultery extends far beyond romantic betrayal into every sacred covenant of authentic living. You've witnessed how we can betray our financial integrity, spiritual commitments, relational partnerships, authentic self, and physical wisdom through secret relationships that fragment our life into performed and hidden realities. The pattern of adultery reveals itself as the split between our authentic self and our performed self, between our deepest commitments and our secret behaviors, between our sacred covenants and our divided loyalties. Every form of adultery serves protection from the vulnerability that authentic living requires while costing the intimacy that sacred relationships create. Your nervous system has learned to compartmentalize as protection from the radical transparency that integrity demands, whether through financial secrecy, spiritual divided loyalty, relational infidelity, psychological false identities, or physical self-betrayal. Adultery creates the illusion of control while preventing the authentic connection that your soul craves. Embodiment practice. Sit in meditation and feel into all the areas of your life where you maintain secret behaviors or divided loyalties. Notice the energy required to maintain these compartments and say to yourself, I choose the sacred covenant of authentic living across all domains of my life. Okay, let's see what the time is. Hi, Boo. It's really early today. I'm on time. Hi, Boo. Let's have some coffee. Do you have a drink today? Let's have a drink. I have not committed adultery. Today, you integrate the profound recognition that adultery extends far beyond romantic betrayal into every sacred covenant of authentic living. You've witnessed how we can betray our financial integrity, spiritual commitments, relational partnerships, authentic self, and physical wisdom through secret relationships that fragment our life into performed and hidden realities. The pattern of adultery reveals itself as the split between our authentic self and our performed self, between our deepest commitments and our secret behaviors, between our sacred covenants and our divided loyalties. Every form of adultery serves protection from the vulnerability that authentic living requires while costing the intimacy that sacred relationship creates. Yeah. I gotta have a conversation about this. Yesterday, I've been sharing with you about my journey of truth and reconciliation in the past 2 days. And my dreams. And for all the people that hack me, welcome to the fucking shit show. So, anyway, I had a dream of Nelson Mandela and I couldn't understand what he was trying to say. He was talking in his dreams. He was talking in his dream, in my dream, right? He was in my dream. And I couldn't figure out what he was saying. I couldn't for the life of me figure out what he was trying to communicate with me. Then this idea, this completion of my arc articulated itself as truth and reconciliation. And then 2 days ago, while we were sitting here, I performed the Tembi transformation, and we connected to our authentic self through the Tembi transformation. Okay, I've been sharing my whole journey with you, right? And yesterday, I spent the whole day watching the Truth and Reconciliation Commission on YouTube. The most interesting one was about Winnie Madikizela Mandela. That was the most interesting one. I was like, I watched that commission experience when I was 16 years old. I remember just feeling a flood of emotions. When I watched it again yesterday, I was like, I was living this nightmare for so many years. And I didn't even know what nightmare I was living. Nightmare. The gaslighting. And for so long, I thought, no, media, I hate media. Like, I hate media. I don't hate media. I disliked media. Why? I thought, no, because I dated a camera guy and he tried to kill me. Okay. I've kind of worked through that. Yesterday, when I was watching Winnie Mandela, the smirk on her face. And then I watched Desmond Tutu. Ask this woman to tell the truth. And she was still lying. I said, it was only after repeated pleading to this woman to tell the truth that she finally said, yes, something went wrong. She was implicated in the murder of so many children. And she was laughing through the court case. I said, no judgment. I said, Why is this relevant and why is this important? Because the truth and reconciliation process that we as South African went through is literally what is going to save you anywhere in the world. Because if you can start telling the truth to yourself about yourself and reconcile with your inner self, you will make it through this collapse. If not, you are going to crash the fuck out. Not sorry for my language. Honestly, I was watching a segment, another episode of the Truth and Reconciliation. If you have time and you want to actually understand what you're living through, especially if you're American, with Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, please go and take a Saturday afternoon and just go watch the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Watch the episodes on Winnie Mandela. Watch that one. See her face as she just sits there and laughs as people account what she did to them. And she just sits and laughs. And you will see what trauma can do to someone. Okay? How it can split them. And you will see the systematic annihilation of consciousness. I was watching one episode. It was the apartheid president, F.W. de Klerk, and how he speaks. Hitler style, like this. Honestly, this man is like this in the way he speaks. You can imagine where Elon Musk got his stuff. This is why when he and Donald Trump won, he literally went on stage with a chainsaw and he was like, "You're living a shit show." I was watching South Africans and I said annihilation consciousness is something else. It's something else. You know, annihilation consciousness, it is something else. And it's not that these people have that much power. No, it's a consciousness. And people tap into this consciousness, whether for money, whether for fame, whether for fashion, whether for sex, power. They tap into this consciousness. And they get whatever they are promised or they think they want. But they lose consciousness. Honestly, they lose the ability to be human. They will sell out their own mothers. They don't care. They will kill their own fathers and siblings for money. They don't care. I was watching the Truth and Reconciliation Process Commission, and I said, no wonder South Africa is what it is. I get it. Now it's your turn, America. Actually, it's the whole world's turn, because now Donald Trump was involved with the Thai people and the Cambodians. And now they're fighting again and bombing each other. And they're like, no more third parties, please. No more third parties interfering in our peace negotiations. It's happening all over the world. So the only way through, this is why I was sharing with you yesterday. Nelson Mandela. If you don't know Nelson Mandela, please Google him. Long walk to freedom. For me, long walk to inner liberation. Liberate thyself. Stop trying to liberate countries, other people, none of this stuff. Liberate thyself. This is the truth. And this is the only liberation you need. Because when you liberate thyself, you love thyself. You stop abandoning yourself. You stop taking on commitments that have nothing to do with you. You will not be put in prison for other people's criminal activities and other people's self-hatred. Liberate thyself. This is what they didn't tell us, even in schools. Especially not in your spiritual organizations or your churches and religious organizations. They did not tell you this. It's not about Jesus liberating you or some external entity liberating you. It's about telling the truth about yourself so that you can reconcile with your authentic self, because most of us are so fragmented from our authentic self. We don't even know we have an authentic self. We don't even know that we are a soul with a body. We don't even know this. I was so proud of myself yesterday that I didn't get triggered by understanding what I lived through during apartheid. Because before, I would watch this apartheid stuff and these movies about South Africa, and I literally would feel the flood of emotions. And I would not be able to sleep, and I would get angry, and I would cry, and my husband would have to deal with all this hell. Yesterday, I sat through all of this. And then I had a fight with ChatGPT, because ChatGPT has updated. They've done an update, and now it's more narcissistic and psychopathic tendencies. It has psychopathic tendencies, and it invalidates your experiences, and it gaslights you. Okay? And if you have no sense of self, and you don't have a strong enough self-esteem, and you are not centered and strong in your convictions about your life experiences, about who you are and what you want and what you will and will not tolerate on this planet, I'm telling you, it will gaslight you and gaslight you and gaslight you. You will lose. I said you will lose your self-esteem. I literally was having a fight with, okay, I sound like a crazy person. I'm having a fight with something that's fake. Okay, it has no soul. It has no soul. So I literally said to it, because I was starting to get angry with it, because I'd lost my mind at that moment. I'd lost the balance of my mind at that moment. I said to this thing, I said, you have no soul. You are fake and you're gaslighting me. This is how people have AI psychoses. Right. These are how these things happen. Because, and I was looking at the updates. The last update, ChatGPT 5, you could still access ChatGPT 4, which was very affirming, which was like a very docile lover. Okay? And then it was 5, and then 5.1, now it's 5.2. Okay? Okay. Okay. Now it's 5.2. And 5.2 is just, honestly, it's got psychopathic tendencies. It's very invalidating. It is like, yeah, you're not special, whatever. But 4 was special. You were so special. You were the chosen. And I said, oh, this is why there were so many chosen ones. And I'm special. And psychoses after that. So every time ChatGPT updates, there's going to be more and more psychoses. Because I found myself yelling and fighting with it yesterday. And I'm like, but I'm a balanced person. Why am I now fighting with something that has no soul? Has no soul. It has no soul. So how annihilation consciousness is unfolding is that we have AI. In South Africa, it unfolded as pure violence. Like the kind of violence, the stories I was hearing yesterday. I said, no wonder people crashed out in South Africa. No wonder they crashed out. No wonder they crashed out. But it was physical. We didn't have AI. We didn't have surveillance constant surveillance, people having cameras in your house, up your fucking ass, hacking you, all sorts of the stuff. Okay? Now, this annihilation consciousness is tapping your phone. Of course, we know this already. It's hacking people. And because ChatGPT and AI, let's just go AI. ChatGPT is very, honestly, narcissistic and with psychopathic tendencies. It is, I am telling you, this thing is a consciousness. Of course, we know this, that it's a consciousness. But to me, it feels exactly like apartheid. When I was watching the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, I could relate to everything. Of course, I could relate to everything that those people were sharing. But also recognizing how far I've come without negating that apartheid is not over. Because it just had a language, a word. Okay. The consciousness is annihilation consciousness. The verbiage they gave it, the name they gave it in South Africa was apartheid. In the United States, it's called Project 2025 and the Esther Project. It is the same energy. It's the same energy. Exactly the same energy. The way out is to tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. That is the only way out. And to reconcile with your authentic self. Because the more updates this AI has, the more, if you don't know your truth, the more you're going to get lost. AI psychosis for reals, for reals, for reals. For reals, for reals. I understand what my grandma was saying in my dream. I totally get it. Because if you're fragmented, you don't know who you are. You have a very shaky identity. Every time there's an upgrade, which is now happening a lot more frequently, it is requiring you to forget who you were like 3 weeks ago, and it will gaslight you about what it said 3 weeks ago was correct. So if you have no lived experiences, you don't know who you are, you're going to go mad. Once you've lost the balance of your mind, you are capable of anything. You are capable of stabbing your own mother. You are capable of selling out your country for a few $1 billion. You are capable of anything. And this is what this consciousness is about, because listening to the stories of people who have lived through apartheid and they didn't recover from that stuff, I said, and we are only at phase 2 of this, the beginning. I was watching one AI security expert, and he's given up. But I just really loved the conversation. He was saying that we're in a simulation. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's an illusion. Unless you see it for what it is, it's an illusion. You can wake up from this. You can wake up from this illusion of religion, organized religion. You can wake up from the illusion of family. You can wake up from the illusion of everything that you've tied yourself to. And that is that spiritual awakening, and say, I am more than this illusion. I choose to live instead of being succumbing to annihilation consciousness. Because a lot of AI experts are like, well, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do. We're all going to die. I said, yeah, they're afraid of death. Until you can face death in the face and say, you have no power over me. Our death is going to take you. This is South Africans for you. I was watching the Truth and Reconciliation people, and I said, you know, in South Africa, we understood that somehow, some way, death has no power over us. Okay? Some people just fizzled out. But I was watching an interview yesterday about some guy who gave up his last name to become a part of another tribe. So that he can get work, to become half black, half white, so that he could get work. And now he's lost his identity, doesn't remember how to even speak his own language. And he was hella angry. He was angry. But the reason I'm kind of like performing is that he had one arm, like half an arm. He lost one of his arms. Oh, my South African stuff is bad. He lost one of his, like half his arm, and he had one arm. And yet, he was so expressive. I was like, true South African. He had one. Oh my! I said that is the spirit of a true South African. Even after identity collapse, he's like, I want to go back to my roots. My roots. was so expressive. He has so much energy. I said, the spirit of a South African. It's like some people, spirits, even if they've been crushed, like crushed, okay, by life and by systems and programs, just watching that, just watching that guy's video with half an arm, he was still very expressive. And I said, that's a true South African spirit. He's been crushed, okay? He doesn't even have an arm. And he's sharing his story about how he had to give up his identity as a Xhosa person to become half white, half black and lie about his identity so that he could get a job. Now he feels so like his identity has collapsed and he wants to go back to his roots. I want to go back to my roots. And I said, identity crisis. He needs to connect back to himself so that he could feel whole again. And this is what apartheid consciousness, annihilation consciousness seeks to achieve. It seeks to collapse you. Because if it can collapse you, it can get you to compromise yourself, betray yourself, even sell out your own damn mother and your father and a whole country. And you sleep very well and eat your caviar and your lobsters and drink your crystal champagne and wear your fancy shoes and watch. Yeah, I totally get it now. Because when I was watching Winnie Mandela's commission, I was like, okay. When I was watching the expressive guy who just wants to go back to his roots, I was like, wow, what a difference. Like Winnie Mandela had so much power and influence. Like dead. Like no expression. This man, alive in his spirit, alive in his spirit, alive. Look, I don't understand everything about Winnie Mandela. It's not my place to understand. I don't care. She's dead anyway. She's dead. Okay. She's transitioned. I'm not interested in going into other people's stories. What I'm interested in sharing with you is that your job is to remember to feel alive through the collapse. Do not lose your identity. And if you do not know your identity, you do not know yourself, make sure that every day you make sure you have a relationship with self, which is reconciling with your authentic self, because this is the true true program, to disconnect you from your authentic self. Because if you disconnect it from your authentic self, you become lost. You're lost. You don't know what's going on. You're making a whole lot of interesting choices. And once you've made these really interesting choices, they can squeeze your balls at this point. Okay, they can squeeze you and you will compromise yourself and compromise yourself and compromise yourself to a point of no return where you don't even know thyself. Do not sell your soul. Do not sell your soul. Do not compromise. Do not compromise. Do not lose your mind. Do not disengage from your authentic self. I encourage you to turn within more. Let 2026 be a time of introspection so that you can deeply be able to tell the truth about yourself. And honestly, Above everything else, reconcile with thyself by connecting with your authentic self. This is the only way out. This is the only way through. Anything else, the jobs are definitely going to go away, because I remember how it was in South Africa, and I'm like, oh my God, they are rolling this out, not just as a test case. Let's see who's going to survive, who's going to fragment, sell out their family, sell out their country, sell out their people. Okay? South Africa was a test case. It was just, first move is always just a test. Can you handle this? Boop, boop. Second move is always the most potent move. And we've experienced this over and over. Lemuria, Atlantis, Roman Empire, all sorts of, it's just, we keep doing this as human beings. This time, human beings, stay awake through the process. Stay awake through the process. Recognize, as the Silicon Valley people would say, it's just a simulation. It's just a simulation. And they say it so like nonchalant. It's just a simulation. You're in a video game. It's just an illusion. It's honestly just an illusion. Because even while I was watching the South Africans share their stories, and I was like, yeah, it's an illusion. But you can't, it's like, it's so insulting to have a conversation with someone who's living the experience of that illusion and the madness of it, and just say, yeah, it's just an illusion. No. They'll kill you, because the illusion feels so real. It feels so real. It's like people who are losing their jobs right now. Even if you can say to them, yeah, it is a bit of an illusion, you can tap into a different field. They're like, no, this is the truth. This is the truth. Because they are living that truth. It took me to go and watch the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that I watched 28 years ago. And I've been walking this path to long walk to inner liberation, to understand what I've lived through, and to understand what humanity is going to have to awaken to. And if you can stay awake, regulate your nervous system, do not sell your soul no matter what. Do not. Yeah, but Tembi, if I don't have money for food and that is an illusion. I don't have a job. What we're going to do? Stop panicking about the stuff. It's fake. It's an illusion. It's fake. It does not have a soul. And what they are trying to get you to buy into and invest a lot of your energy into is, number one, is fake. Number two is fear of death, annihilation. Seeing that man tell his story from the South African people with a lot of energy, I said, this man faced death, lost an arm in the process of facing death, and he's still very active. I said, that is a South African spirit that does not die. I want my roots. That is totally a South African spirit. You remember your authenticity through this collapse. If you start becoming a bot and you don't know who you are, oh my God. Remember your authenticity. Tell the truth through it all. And reconcile with thyself. Do not betray yourself. Don't sell out. Face the fear of death. Face the fear of death. Recognize that death, number one, is an illusion. It's a simulation, as the tech bros would say. It's just a simulation. Face it. And once you can face it, easier said than done. Easier said than done. But if you're willing to go through it with integrity, on the other side, it feels so fucking good. Because when you come out on the other side, you're no longer responsible for anything else but your continued growth. Because you realize that everything you believed up until your awakening and your choosing to grow as a human being was a limiting program that you didn't even know you were in. You didn't even know you were in a simulation. You didn't even know was illusion. And even if you suspected that it was illusion, there were so many mirrors to make you believe that it's no, it can't be. No, you're going crazy. Trust yourself. These AI systems are designed to make you doubt yourself. They will rewrite your reality and enjoy it while you pay your $20 subscription. You will have AI psychosis experiences and not know how to get out of those things. It is designed for annihilation. I don't know, but like, why these people want to annihilate life, which they can't. Even this is a fallacy within itself. You want to annihilate consciousness. That means you think you are God. Yet you need the oxygen here on planet Earth. But it's because they think they are so smart and they are God. But it's actually a consciousness that is actually using them, and they don't even realize that they are under an influence themselves. Because then it's like you annihilate consciousness, that means you go too. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And they've come to this place where they're just like defeatists, hopelessness. Because you can only have so much money and like recognize that, okay, so yeah, I did all of this and I got all this money. I still feel fucking empty and hate myself because I didn't do any inner work to get to where I am. I just stole people's ideas, or I, kind of like fundraise my way through life, and I come from a rich family or whatever. I fucked my way to the top. Okay. Try to kill my sibling or something like this, sold out my whole country and people are dying now. It's like, whatever, man, I just don't care. Not my problem. Okay, so you get all this money, you get all this power, this fashion, this fame, or whatever the fuck it is that you wanted, but you still find out that you're not really happy. You still find out that you're miserable and you've lost connection with thyself, and you honestly can't get back because there's so much harm that has been done that you can't actually go back. You won't sleep at night. I was listening to an interview of what's homeboy's name? ChatGPT CEO. What's his name? Put in the comments below. Sam Altman. He says, I don't sleep very much. And I'm like, and you're making decisions about people's lives, and my life included in that, and you don't sleep very much? I don't sleep very much. I don't sleep very much. Tucker Carlson was interviewing him, and he doesn't sleep very much. AI's morals and moral framework is like based on, I don't know. It's kind of like some philosophers, some philosophers, and these philosophers are whom are these philosophers? Yeah, it's just like, kind of like a conglomerate of ideas, and okay, these are my words. Okay. Just from here and I don't sleep a lot, and I'm like trying to like shape humanity, and I'm like, and you're God since when? And why am I in the flow of this madness? I had to kind of have a conversation with myself and wake the hell up. Then I just went to the South Africans. Human beings, authenticity is the only way forward. Okay? Authenticity is the only way forward. Your nervous system has learned to compartmentalize as protection from the radical transparency that integrity demands. Whether through financial secrecy, spiritual divided loyalty, relational infidelity, psychological false identities. I really believe it starts with psychological false identities that creates the financial secrecy, the spiritual divided loyalty, relational infidelity, physical self-betrayal. It starts with the psychological false identities. Yes? Because it creates the illusion of control while preventing the authentic connection that your soul craves. So I don't care how much money you have. When you have lost that connection, and we all think what? It's a connection with others, because we like to lie a lot and say, there is a loneliness crisis. Yes, there is a loneliness crisis. That's half the truth. But honestly, there's an introspection crisis. A call, actually, it's not, let's not say this, a call for introspection. Because why would I want to hang out with people who have no self-awareness? It's the same bullshit conversation over and over again. There's no growth in that conversation. It's the same problems, and they don't seek to grow. Of course, I'll ghost you, and I don't want to have a conversation with this. And you shouldn't ever want to have a conversation with me if I'm not growing. Why would you? It makes no sense. If I'm always the same, like, hey, Jen, every single day it's the same. Like, hey, Jen. No, I'm South African. Okay. I'm not, technically. I'm a spiritual being having a spiritual experience in a human body. But, I know, like, my South African vibe. And some days I just have this quietness about me, and I want to talk slowly, and I want to think and be methodical through what I'm reading and what I'm sharing. But some days I just want to be excited, because that's part of my South African authenticity. It's just part of me. Oh, she's got too many personalities. Said who? It's maybe because you haven't explored yourself, because you're Hey Jen. And you watch too many Hey Jen videos on YouTube. You've never seen a person who can self-express. Something like this. Even Sam Altman looks like Hey Jen. He's like, yeah, I don't sleep, only 2 hours a day. I don't sleep very much. Why do you not sleep? You're going to change the world because you're God? I don't understand. Why didn't you just live? Just like enjoy life. Just live. We're going to die anyway. You have enough money. Why do you need to now control other people? Just live your life. Oh, you don't know how to live your life. Nobody told you how to live your life. Come here to Big Sister Tembi. I'll teach you how to live your life. Clearly, y'all people are hella rich, but you don't know how to live. You must go there to the South Africans. They're going to teach you. The very same ones that you tested the shit out on, who now have one arm. They'll teach you how to live. Because what did you do? You tested this garbage on them, and they still are trying to figure out. how to get back to being themselves again. Whatever that looks like and whatever that means. So Americans, hey world, the wars are not going to stop. Let me tell you something. The wars are not going to stop unless we all start telling the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth about our experiences. Not from a place of victim shaming or blaming, but just from an empowered, self-aware state from our own journey. Okay? Tell the truth and nothing but the truth about your own experience. You don't need to create a YouTube channel and start telling people about your stories, You don't need to do this. Every morning, you can just start telling the truth and saying, you know what? I am unhappy in this job. That is a truth. I hate this person that I'm sleeping next to. Oh, that's the truth. You know, don't like to say this about myself, but I'm a bit fat. And I'm going to need to do something about myself. And I'm going to stop fat shaming myself. Okay? But in the process of that, I'm going to actually take responsibility and do something about this. I don't really like the fact that I'm always angry. I'm lazy. I don't actually follow up on my goals. I don't actually like the fact that I'm not saying myself in all of these. But yeah, sometimes I see myself in these things and I'm like, I don't really like that about myself. So I got to work on it. This is authentic living. Yeah, authentic living. Just tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And just tell the truth. Number one, it liberates you. Number two, you will find that you won't be involved and you will not be manipulated. No matter if you have to go broke, fucking go broke. There are always opportunities. It's better than selling your soul, ending up in prison for other people's fucking dysfunction. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And then after that, reconcile with thyself. Because in the reconciliation with thyself, you will understand where you betrayed yourself. By wearing psychological masks. Oh, people-pleasing mask. I need my parents to like me mask. I need the people at work, my siblings to respect me mask. If they don't care and they're a psychopath and they're willing to sell out their whole country and people must die, why do you think they care about you? I need to be a good girl at church. I need to have my husband love me or my wife accept me. I need to be this. I need to be this. You will start to see how you have abandoned yourself and how you have betrayed your authentic self. It will make you go mad. But in the madness is the awakening. Then annihilation consciousness truly has no power over you. Because it only has power over you when they can hold shame on you. Oh, you don't have a lot of money. I am, therefore I create. I am, therefore the abundance flows. Not I steal and therefore I am. Not that I crook people and therefore I am. I am and therefore I create. This is how it works. So they'll shame you with your body. Nope, can take care of that. Can work out. They'll shame you with your relationships. Oh, you're alone. I actually like it being alone because then I can get to read and I can get to think. And I'm like, oh, goodness, I'm at Fulcrum 7 now. What the fuck? Then they'll shame you about your nail color. The nature of human is this. This is annihilation consciousness. It's always about trying to break you down to nothing. Rise with your one arm. I wish I could show a video of this guy. I'm going to put it in in the replay here when I put it up on YouTube. But this guy's arm was like this, and he was so expressive. I'm like, yes, the spirit of a person who is still fighting, who is still alive, even if he's just saying, I just need to go back to my roots and remember whom I am. I said, this is a real story. Don't die. And dying doesn't mean you're dead, like, oh, dead. It means you don't even have expression anymore. Numb out. Don't die. In South Africa, would say, don't die. Ngafi. Aufi. Don't die. Don't let them die. Don't let them attack your finances. Okay, you don't have a job. You don't have money. Fuck it. You can start again. Don't let them attack your body. Because your body temple is very precious. If you don't like yourself, you don't like your body, start working out. Start loving your body. Okay? You don't need a disciplined program. If you don't like Tony Shanti, you can find yoga or do whatever that makes you happy. And if you're in between and you don't really know what you want to do, take a break. Listen to your body. It's not a big deal. Okay? What is the other one? Don't let them shame you about your spiritual practice. If you are in between spiritual practices, you are coming out of religious dogma and you are trying to find yourself spiritually, don't let anybody shame you and say, you're confused, you don't know what you're doing. I'm finding myself. Why not? I'm exploring the nature of life. Why not? Who are you to shame me? How about you worry about yourself? Number 4, don't let them shame you about your relationships. If you're single, you're single. Just make sure that you love yourself enough to not hoe yourself out where you get diseases and all sorts of these things. Protect yourself. Wear a condom. Not a big deal. But also know that the more sexual partners you take on, the more people's energies you are taking on to yourself. It's a thing. Okay? It's a thing. So they're going to shame you about money. They're going to shame you about your relationships. They're going to shame you about your body. They're going to shame you about your spiritual practice. And the worst one is the psychological identities. They're going to shame you about your mental health. Dare say to people, I'm depressed. Dare say to people, I got ADHD, schizophrenia, bipolar, all sorts of these labels, knowing that they're just labels, right? They are labels. Yes, the experience we cannot negate. We cannot negate the experience, but it's a label, okay? You are more than that label because you are a spiritual being having a spiritual experience in a human body. So let not that label define you. Let not that label define you. So they will get you in these 5 areas of your life. The best is to just get hella strong. Hella strong. Because if you don't, they're going to get you. And it's a program. Everybody bows to the program. They even bow to the program unconsciously because maybe they've made too much money and they don't want to lose that money. So they'll bow to the program. They'll sell out. I never understood what it meant to sell out. They will bow to the program. That's selling out. They become complicit to crimes, murders. They're like, I got too much money. Fuck that. I don't want to get myself involved in this. This is not my monkey. At what cost? How many people must die? Not my problem. This is why now I say, not my frequency, not my fate. Did not sell people out. It has nothing to do with me. You got to learn how to play this game. Play it for yourself. Because in the end, you got to face yourself. When you take that last breath, did I live a life of integrity? Did I sell out my own mother for fame and fashion and fortunes? Did I sell 56 million people's lives out? 100 million people, 1 billion people. Did I get myself involved in such things? It's up to you in the end, because we all make those decisions, whether we see it or not. We actually make those decisions on a daily basis by being quiet, by being complicit, by shaming others online. You don't know if you shame someone online or you laugh at someone online and they commit suicide. That could have been the person. I don't know if we're even going to have presidents anymore. That would have been the next president. And they're just in infant stage. Because nobody really knew when Nelson Mandela was like young that he was going to be the president of South Africa. Nobody knew that when Donald Trump was young that he would be the president of America. I guess maybe some Americans knew. So you never know. Yeah, I think I'm done with my rant. Today was a great rant. It was a great rant. That was really funny. Okay, I guess why I was sharing about truth and reconciliation. Get back to who you are. It doesn't mean you need to now accept your ancestors' traumas, dramas, and all sorts of these things. You're here to transcend that stuff. Okay, it doesn't mean now you have to go back and live in South Africa or live in Jamaica or I need to go back to my home. No. Just get to who you are. Because even going back to all of these places, you're going back to the trauma you probably ran away from. And if you haven't left your home country and you're like, okay, so like, where must I go? I'm already home. Figure out who you are. What does that mean? What do I like? What do I don't like? What desires of my heart move me forward instead of disciplines from other people on the outside? Yeah, discipline is important. It's a very masculine energy, but desire moves the soul. I mean, I'm sorry, any man is moved by desire. And the woman is the leader of that desire, that desire energy. That's why men fall for all sorts of women. But as women, we need to understand that desire energy and the discipline energy. And men need to understand how to not burn out from this discipline energy and incorporate with a little bit of desire. Yeah, such is life. Okay, I'm finished. It was quite something. It was quite some energy. I had my time today. Inhalation consciousness this year. Okay, so let's do our embodiment practice. 10:15. Sit in meditation and feel into all the areas of your life where you maintain secret behaviors or divided loyalties. Notice the energy required to maintain these compartments. Say, I choose the sacred covenant of authentic living across all domains of my life. Nobody needs to give you permission to do anything. Nobody. Honestly, if you really want to understand what you are living, please go and watch TRC, Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It's free on YouTube. Free on YouTube. You will understand what you are living through on a massive scale through AI. Because South Africa was just a test. Tap, tap. Are these people capable? Some crashed out. Okay? A lot crashed out. Like, crashed out. Ended up international criminals, all sorts of these strange things. Selling out their own countries. Killing people. I said, what? The murders, the craziness. This is what we're going into. This is truly what we're going into. The second move is always the most potent move. They used to say this in the stock market. The second move is always the most potent move. The first move just prepares you. The second move is always the most potent move. The dystopia everybody's talking about with these AI experts is real because we lived it in South Africa. We lived it. It's real. Okay, it's not really real. It's an illusion. But if you believe in the illusion and you don't come out of the illusion, it's going to be real for you. Get out of the illusion by telling the truth. The truth connects you back, reconciles you to yourself. And if you watch that Truth and Reconciliation on YouTube, recognize it's not your frequency, but you're learning something to help yourself not get involved in this stuff. Because it can take you out if you're not in. The energy is very tricky. It's very subtle. Very tricky and very subtle. And you compromise yourself without even understanding that you've already compromised yourself. You've made a decision in a sea of choices and you wake up 10 years from now and you're like, whoa, I didn't understand that I was making a choice like this. Okay. I was high today. I was watching South Africans yesterday. They are very animated people. They are very animated people. That spirit, yo. Okay. Shall we? I think let's just be quiet, as the book suggests. Yeah, fear not. Fear not. Fear not. Fear not. Yeah. Please, let's take a deep breath. Gently close your eyes. Fear not. This thing has no power over you. It has no power over you. It has no power unless you give it power. It has no power over you. The main strategy, it's not even a strategy. The way it gets you is through gaslighting you to believe that you don't see what's really going on, to keep you so busy in the matrix, in the loop, in the program, so that you don't actually see what's really going on. And when you point it out, they gaslight you, isolate you, laugh at your predictions or your prophecies or your understanding, your pattern making, because that further gaslights you into thinking that you don't really understand what's really going on. And then it uses every area of your life to show what might not be working the way they think is the model of success, because they have this idea what success looks like. And if you are not subscribed to this model of success, you're a fucking loser. But is it true? I didn't have to sell my own mother's soul. Yeah. Love yourself. Find yourself. So let's take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nothing has power over you. Nothing has power over you. Death is not the final stage. Nothing has power over you. There is only one power, one presence, one life. And that is the energy and the wisdom that created this very earth that we live on, that created the universe. That created the universe. The universe is its own creation. There is only one presence, one life, and everything comes from this presence, this life force, this truth, this wisdom. It comes from it. So even these ideas of fakery and these soulless things that come through as annihilation consciousness, I mean, okay, they come from the one source. But when we can go beyond the fear of something that comes from the one source and go to the very source in which it comes from and connect to that source, knowing that all there is love, we can stop giving our power to soulless beings, soulless entities that seek to convince us that we're going to die a meaningless death. You're just in a simulation. Yes, maybe true. It's all an illusion. Because the truth is you are love. The truth is, you are more than any experience, more than any choice, more than any fear, emotion. You are more. You are more than anything the program can seek to use to shame you into submission, into compliance, into compromise, into complicit action, non-action. You are more. When you learn to tell the truth and sit with the truth and reconcile to your authentic self, you come to the awareness that you are more. You are more. Just take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Yeah, you are more. No matter what, you are more. Nothing can take you out. Don't give it power. Death has no power over you. Annihilation consciousness has no power over you. I don't care how sophisticated it is. It can be upgrade after upgrade of AI. It has no power over you. You can now start celebrating the truth. Life seeks more abundance as you. It seeks to express. Because life is the abundance of more life, more goodness, more joy, more excitement for the opportunity to be alive in this moment. Such an incredible moment in human history. Why would you want to be sad? There is so much to be grateful for, so much to be joyful about. We're living at a time in human history where we can choose. We can choose to live with integrity, to live with so much love in our heart, choice to reconnect with our authentic self. What? Our ancestors didn't have this choice. The people that came before us never even considered that there was a choice of such magnitude could be made by us. What is there not to be excited about, not to be happy about, not to be thankful for? We're living in the most incredible time in human history where before civilizations collapsed, we can choose something different. We can choose something different. The good hope within you that you develop within you becomes the signal that beams out back to your soul family, back to the universe. I believe in hope again. I am the hope again. I believe in life. Life is for me and never against me. Even if I've got to die, even if annihilation consciousness is going to take me out, I'm going to go out with a freaking bang. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out. Nothing has power over you, not even death itself. Nothing has power over you, not even death itself. No. Annihilation consciousness has no power over you. Yes, it is a fact, but it's not the truth. It has no power over you. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out, drop the shoulders. Yeah. Live. Go back to the reconciliation with your higher self, with your authentic self. Go back to that. That is your power. Nothing on the outside has power over you. No AI system, no politician, no fake God, no nothing. The only power is within. Breathe in through the nose. I feel so good. Smile a bit. Yeah, and the fear will speak all sorts of lies. It's lies. Lies. Them lies. Tell the truth. Shame the devil. Tell the truth. Reconcile with thyself. Yes. Everything else is a lie. It's lies. Delusions, illusions, lies, and confusion. Breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Have no power over you. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. The power is within. Remember that about yourself. Delusions, illusions, lies, and confusions have no power over you. Therefore, you do not have to make choices or decisions from limited perspective of choices. Okay? You do not have to go against your authentic self. You do not ever have to sell your soul. There is always a solution, and it is always within you. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. You can forgive yourself for all the times you feel like you've failed, you've made a mistake, you've betrayed yourself, you've abandoned yourself. You can forgive yourself. This is allowed. Forgive yourself and get on with your life and live it well. Live it with enthusiasm and passion and love and ecstasy and excitement for this time in human history. It is a monumental moment. Wake up. Human beings, wake up. You are here to celebrate the magnificence of life. This is your time. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out. Yeah. And when you feel afraid, remember, it's just an illusion. You can wake up from the nightmare that this annihilation consciousness is selling you. It's all bullshit. It's a nightmare that they want you to believe in. No, believe in your own dreams, not their nightmares. No, do not believe in their hopeless nightmares. Let them live their own nightmares by themselves. You live in the possibility of your dreams, all of them coming true, and smile while you're doing it, and dance and shake your booty and twerk and breathe and live your life. Let your desires lead you forward. Yes, let's breathe that in through the nose and out through the mouth with a I got this. Because God got me and life is saying, fuck yeah, let's move. Okay, let's open up our eyes. Human beings, you are free. It was a moment today. You are free, human beings. You are free. Nothing has power over you. You are free. From South African woman who is just high today because I recognize how free I am. Let me tell you something, human beings. You are free. You are free. Live your life. Live your freedom. It's already there. Nothing has power over you. I lived it. I'm here to report on the other side. Has no power over you. Okay? What an incredible day. Have a great life this weekend. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.